attendees now. So now I think we should start the session. So once again, very good morning to all. This screen which I have shared, I think this screen is visible to all of you, and intentionally I have opened the syllabus, and in the syllabus right now my focus is to complete chapter number 1. So I have highlighted the points which are there in chapter number 1, and in the last session we have discussed some of the basic concepts related with the computer network. And in this particular session I will try to cover point number 1.2 and 1.3, because 1.2 and 1.3, these are the points which you have already learned in data communication and network subject. So now let me start the recording. Yes, so recording has been started, and I think we have 128 plus attendees who have already joined. So now we can begin this session. Yes. So in chapter number 1, I think you have the booklet and you have seen in chapter number 1, the first point is uses of computer network, where the computer network is applicable. Brief on internet. So in internet we have different types of devices which are connected with the internet, and internet is also known as wide area network. So LAN, MAN and WAN, these three concepts are the important concepts, and you have to remember internet, it is known as wide area network. WAN and internet both are the similar types of words. Then applications and recent trends on computer network. So this recent trends on computer network, we will discuss it very soon. If we focus on 1.2, then it is related with network hardware and network software. And 1.3 is OSI model, TCP/IP model, and comparison of OSI and TCP/IP model. And 1.4 is example network. So if possible, then I will try to explain you some live networks so that you will have the idea how the devices are interacting in the live network. So now let me start 1.2, that is network hardware and network software. And let me remove the screen sharing now, because you have the idea about the points which are there in chapter number 1. And in chapter number 1, it is related with the basics of network. So we will try to go through with the basic concepts. So now we have 140 attendees who have already joined. So 1.2 is network hardware and network software. So network hardware and network software. If you want to access the internet, then previously or before some years, we used to install modem in the computer. You can install modem on the PCI slot. One white slot is there on the motherboard where you can attach the modem, and you can use the telephone line cable You can insert the telephone line cable in the computer. Through modem, you can connect your device with the internet, but in modem, the device which was used, that modem supports, that modem provides dial-up internet, and in dial-up internet, the restriction is speed limit. We can have 64 kbps maximum. We can have 64 kbps speed, achievable speed, but actually we can get around 56 or 55 kbps only. Then after, to connect the computer with the internet, the concept of broadband came, and in the broadband, instead of using modem, people have started using LAN card, NIC card. So LAN card can be wired LAN card, it can be wireless NIC card or wireless LAN card. So in wired NIC or wireless NIC, you can achieve high speed because it supports broadband internet. So to achieve the more speed, to achieve the higher speed, you can use LAN card. Okay, you can use network interfacing card or LAN card. Both are these same types of devices. Both are same, LAN card or network interfacing card. You want to connect, if you want to connect your device with internet, then you can use wireless internet facility, wireless networking as well. And if you want to use wireless networking, if you want to access wireless network, then appropriate device like wireless NIC card or appropriate hardware is required in your device. So we can get the Wi-Fi internet, we can get the wireless internet through the Wi-Fi facility which is available. Now, computer network, please listen me carefully, and all are requested, all of you are requested to write the points, important points in the notebook parallelly. Whenever I used to say like you have to write, then you have to write, but if you think that any point is important, then you can immediately note it down. So if you focus on network hardware and network software part, then hardware, network hardware, it means the devices which are there in the network, and any device which is there in the network, that device can be classified into two categories. One is intermediate device and second one is end device. So end device and intermediate device. Under the network hardware part, you have end device, you have intermediate device, and then you have what? Transmission media, that is cable. So if you have end device, if you have intermediate device, and if you have transmission media, that is cable, then you can establish the network, you can create the network. So for creating the network, it requires end device. So you can consider the example of the Microsoft Teams meeting which is going on right now. So my device from which I am broadcasting the lecture, I am broadcasting the online session, it can be considered as an end device. The device from which you are attending the session, whether you are using mobile phone, whether you are using desktop or laptop or any other device, then your device is also considered as an end device only. So through end device, I am generating the data. I am sending the data in terms of voice. That voice will be converted into signal, and then your device will receive the signal, and then your device will convert the signal into voice. So I am sending voice, it will be converted into signal, and then again it will be converted back to the voice. So end device, your device or my device, if you consider, then we can say that end device is responsible for generating the data or terminating the data. end device either initiates the data communication or it terminates the data communication. So right now I am broadcasting the session through HP all-in-one machine. So HP all-in-one machine, which is available at my side, it is responsible for initiating the data communication, and your device will convert the signal into voice form, and then you are able to listen me. So your device is terminating the connection because it is your device at where the connection, the data will be received, and we can say that now your device will not send the signal further to any other device. So the point is, if you focus on network hardware part, then in network hardware you can consider LAN card, network interfacing card, you can consider end devices, you can consider transmission media cable. Different types of cables are available, different types of end devices are there, and different types of intermediate devices are there. Now to broadcast the data, to send the signal between your device and my device, it is possible that in internet some switches are available, some routers are available. So switches, routers, hubs, if they are there, if they are exist between sender and receiver, then we can consider those switches, routers and hubs and all these devices are considered as what? Intermediate devices only. Now network hardware part, if you have sufficient hardware, you have LAN cable, you have LAN card, you have computer available with you. So only hardware, only having network hardware is not sufficient. It is not sufficient for the data communication. You require network software as well. And network software, it means it requires application software, it requires protocol, and it requires operating system. Please listen me carefully. If you want to achieve data communication, then it requires application software, it requires protocol, and then it requires what? Operating system. So these three, application software, protocol, and operating system. Protocol and operating system, these are the system softwares. And Microsoft Teams, which we are using right now, it is considered, we can consider it as an application software. So application software, Microsoft Teams, we are using Microsoft Teams right now, application software. We are also using TCP/IP protocol. We are also having some operating system. So if you combine these three, then you can say that you have sufficient network software, and then you have sufficient network hardware. Now you are ready with the data communication. You are ready to send and receive data. So end devices, your device can also initiate the communication. My device can also initiate the communication. So end device is responsible for initiating the communication or terminating the communication. Intermediate devices are responsible for passing the data from one end to other end. The role of intermediate device is to pass the data. So if you consider switches, network routers or network hubs, then they will receive data and then they will just pass on the data to the other node, other device. And this is how we are able to establish the communication. So sender, end device can be sender, end device can be receiver. End device can be source, end device can be destination. Right now I am speaking, so we can consider that my computer is a source and you are listening, you are receiving the signal. So your device is considered as a destination. And I hope that you have the idea of the source and destination. You have the idea about sender and receiver. And you have now the idea about which types of network hardwares are required and which types of network softwares are required. If you skip, if you want to bypass the application software, if you want to bypass the protocol, or if you want to bypass the operating system, then you cannot do this. You cannot do this because all these three components are important: application software, protocol, and operating system. Even in the case of network hardware, you cannot bypass LAN card, you cannot bypass end device, you cannot bypass the intermediate device. You have to use all this. Then and then you can achieve the communication. Now, if I want to highlight on the address part, address, then is there anyone who can tell me that which types of addresses are required? Consider the case of the Microsoft Teams meeting which is going on right now. So my device and your device, if you consider, then which types of addresses which we have to use, which types of addresses we have to use in the communication. So do you know the types of addresses which are used if you are using TCP/IP protocol? And in the last session, please listen me carefully. In the last session, we have discussed that OSI is a reference model, open source interconnection. It is the reference model, and TCP/IP is the actual protocol. It is the protocol stack. So TCP/IP, it was developed from OSI. By referring OSI, TCP/IP was developed, and TCP/IP, it is the subset of OSI. And if you want to create your own protocol, if you want to create your protocol, protocol X, protocol Y, you can consider any valid name. Then you can create your own protocol by referring OSI reference model. So OSI reference model, we cannot use, we can't use OSI reference model in the communication. We cannot install OSI in any computer, we cannot install OSI in any device. It is just the reference model. So you can refer it, but you cannot use it, you can't use it in the device. And TCP/IP it is the actual protocol. So by default, whenever you install operating system provides TCP/IP protocol pre-installed. It is available by default, and you can remove TCP/IP from your computer as well. But if you remove it, then as per the constraint, if you have application software and if you have operating system, then these two are not sufficient for establishing the communication. So the question is, protocol, if you focus on this word protocol, then what protocol will do? What is the role of protocol in case of the communication which is going on between us through Microsoft Teams? What is the role of protocol? Is there anyone who can inform me? What is the role of protocol in the communication? So please tell me the role of protocol in the communication.
To establish the connection and secure line.
Okay, anything else? To establish the communication and to establish the secure connection, correct? But to establish the communication, if we consider that for establishing the communication, application software, Microsoft Teams, or even you can consider the case of WhatsApp. Okay, if you consider WhatsApp, it is the case of the application software only. So you have WhatsApp, the receiving party also requires WhatsApp. You have Microsoft Teams, receiving party also requires Microsoft Teams. So this application software can send the signal to the receiver where you require same application software. But establishing communication through application software, what do you think? Is it sufficient to establish the communication through application software? And if it is possible, if it is feasible, then what is the need of protocol? So please highlight, please focus on the word protocol.
वो सर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड तरीके से भी मैसेज जाना जरूरी है ना, लाइक जस्ट एस्टैब्लिशिंग अ कनेक्शन मींस मैसेज इधर से उधर जा रहा है, but
Yes.
how to interpret the message in an appropriate manner so that the human can understand / read it.
Okay, correct.
ये तो इम्पोर्टेंट है ना, तो उसके लिए प्रोटोकॉल्स जरूरी है.
Correct, correct. Okay, so connection establishment, secure line creation, interpreting message. These are the points we can consider, like protocol is responsible for all this. But again, what do you think in communication, in any type of communication? Just consider the case of sending a file with larger size. If I want to send the file which has a size of 500 MB, then I can upload that file in Microsoft Teams. Once the uploading is finished, immediately you can click on the file and you can download that file. So sending and receiving the data, if you consider the large amount of file, large size file, then protocol is playing any role in terms of handling the large size file? Protocol is playing any role in terms of synchronizing sender and receiver? Protocol is playing any role in terms of assigning the timestamp? Like if you consider me as a sender and if I pass on some message at 10:37 a.m., 10:37:00 a.m. So sender has sent the message at 10:37:00 a.m. Then receiver will receive the message at 10:37:00 plus X time. So some time will be considered, some time will be taken by the network, and that time can be 1 second or 1/2 second, or some value will be there. In that value can be there in terms of millisecond as well. So assigning the timestamp, at which time the message is sent, at which time the message is received. Synchronizing the sender and receiver, synchronizing the clock of sender and receiver. All these are the roles which are played by the protocol. Now the next important point is, if you consider protocol, then you have to remember and you have to consider this. You cannot transmit 500 MB file, you cannot transmit 1 GB file within a single instance. If you want to use protocol, if you are using protocol, then that protocol will divide the file into small blocks, and then those blocks will be gradually uploaded. Those blocks will be gradually transmitted, and at the receiver side, those blocks will be merged, and then the entire file will be created. So dividing the file into blocks, this is again the responsibility of the protocol. Secure connection. It means sending data in the encrypted form, receiving the data in the encrypted form, and decrypting the data. It is again the responsibility of the protocol. And nowadays, application software, the application software which you are using, application software also performs encryption and decryption. So protocol is not only the entity who is responsible, but application software also uses some algorithm for encryption and decryption. And I think you have the idea about encryption and decryption. And if you don't have the idea, then please remember, if you want to send message hello, then that hello is known as a plain text. It is known as a simple message. So hello will be converted into unreadable form. So hello will be converted into some characters, and those unreadable character will be transmitted through the transmission media. So if someone tries to intercept the data, if someone tries to fetch the data from the transmission medium, or if someone tries to fetch the data in between sender and receiver, then that person will receive the data in terms of what? Encrypted form. So encryption is important because you all know very well, through network, confidential communication can also occur, or normal communication can also occur. But we have to remember that we cannot send data in terms of the plain text, that is normal message hello, across the network, because it can be easily fetched, it can be easily interpreted by the hacker. So we have to take care of the message as well. So these are the roles and responsibilities of the protocol. But the next important point is, assume that you are using the device and you are using some low-end device, low configuration device. You have limited RAM, you have limited storage, and if you consider my device, then I'm using high-end device, so I have 16 GB RAM, I have proper hardware through which I can communicate very faster, I can send more numbers of bits per second. And if you consider the reverse approach, like I am conducting this session through low-end, low configuration device, and you are attending session from high configuration device. So if the sender is equipped with the low configuration device, or if the receiver is equipped with the low configuration device and the other party is equipped with the high configuration device, then what do you think? Any issue will arise in this case or not?
नहीं सर, वो प्रोटोकॉल अपने आप ध्यान रख लेता है, वो बेयर मिनिमम पे लेके आ जाते हैं.
Yes. Dhruval, can you speak it again?
वो बेयर मिनिमम पे लेकर आ जाता है, प्रोटोकॉल्स अपने आप उन चीजों का ध्यान रख लेते हैं. Correct. So protocol will try to agree sender and receiver upon some minimum speed. If you want to write this point, you can write this point in your notebook. Protocol will help sender and receiver to agree on some minimum speed, so that the problem of speed mismatch will not arise. The problem of speed mismatch will not arise, and this care will be taken by the protocol. So if sender is too fast, or if the receiver is too fast, then in this particular case, protocol will help the sender and receiver to agree on minimum speed, and then the data communication will occur. So this is known as speed mismatch problem, and speed mismatch problem will be properly handled by the protocol. And one last point, that is the error, transmission error. So you all know very well, data will be transmitted in the binary form. So right now whatever I am speaking, that voice will be converted into binary. Binary will be converted into signal. Signal will arrive at your side. Now your device will convert the signal into binary and then binary to actual voice. So in communication, transmission occurs in terms of binary bits 1010. So it is possible that some bit will be inverted. Some bit may find inversion. 1 will be sent as 0 and 0 will be sent as 1. So this is known as transmission error, and transmission error is also handled by protocol. So speed mismatch issue is there, which is well handled by the protocol. Transmission error issue is there, which is also handled by the protocol. Apart from this, whatever the points which we have discussed, all these are the, or all this comes under the scope, under the purview of the protocol, and protocol will help sender and receiver to achieve fruitful communication, proper communication. Now, the next important point is, if you consider protocol like TCP/IP protocol is there, then what do you think, why 7 layers are there in OSI reference model and why 5 layers are there in TCP/IP protocol stack, and what do you mean by layers? Now listen me carefully. In one of the textbook, in one of the book related with the computer network, I have referred that the authors of the book, they have compared the data communication with online food delivery. They have compared the data communication, they have compared the working of the they have compared the working of the layers. Listen me carefully. They have compared the working of the layers with ordering online food, and they have considered that whenever you try to order the food through online or in online mode, then the food, like if you want to order pizza or if you want to order any other item, then that food item is considered as data. Whosoever is ordering, that person will be considered as sender, or that person can be also considered as receiver. Restaurant, who is providing the food, restaurant is considered as sender and or receiver, and the food delivery associate, the person who is dealing with the food, who will take the food from restaurant and who will provide you the food, that person has to follow some path, that person has to use some vehicle. So that path is the network path. The vehicle which is used by the delivery associate, the person who is delivering you the food, that vehicle is considered as the transmission media. And if you consider the food which you want, then you all know very well, food will be wrapped with some, or the food will be wrapped inside some box or some material. So that box, that material, or that plastic bag or whatever you consider, then it is known as adding control information. It is known as adding control information. So at the restaurant side, once the food is ready, we can say that the data is ready. Then that food will be wrapped. So data and then control information will be added. Now it is possible that one or two wrappers can be used by the restaurant. So once the food reaches at your home, you have to unwrap the topmost wrapper. You have to unbox it. So the process which is followed by the restaurant, you have to follow the reverse process. So initially restaurant is having what food, then wrapping of food, and then again wrapping of food, and then at your side you are unwrapping the topmost wrapper, you are unboxing the topmost wrapper, and then again unboxing, and then the food. You will be able to get the actual food or the data. So this process is followed by protocol. The similar process is followed in the data communication. If I want to transmit character A, if I want to transmit hello message, then I cannot transmit hello directly to you, but at my side, initially I will be having message, that is character A or hello. Then control information will be appended with A or hello. Then again some more control information will be appended with A or hello. And then the data will leave from my machine. Data will be sent through transmission media. At your side, you have to detach the control information, and then you can get the actual data, that is character A or hello. So now by following this example, can you tell me that what you have learned from this example? What is the learning outcome of this example, or from this example? What is the learning outcome? How we can compare the online food ordering with the working of the protocol? How we can compare the online food ordering with the OSI reference model? How we can compare it with the TCP/IP protocol stack? What is the learning from this? What is the learning? Please feel free to discuss. This is the discussion session which is going on. Don't consider it as the actual session lecture where you will not get the chance to speak. You are free to explain whatever comes in your mind, and based on that we will have some discussion. So please tell me what is the learning outcome from this example. I have said that transmission media exists in online food ordering. Intermediate device, end device, data is there. Attaching the control information is also there. Adding sender's address and receiver's address is also there, because restaurant has to attach some label. Whenever you order the food, you are providing your address. You have to provide your address. So addressing is there, wrapping, unwrapping is there, data is there, transmission media is there. So compare this example with the data communication and tell me that what is the importance of layers, and why can't we follow the same process as it is followed by the restaurant? Why we have to follow the reverse approach? Like you all know very well, if I am using TCP/IP protocol in my machine right now for delivering this or for conducting the online session, then in my computer, if I am using application layer first, then transport layer, then network layer, then data link layer, and then physical layer, then at your side you have to use physical layer first, then data link layer, then network layer, then transport layer, and then at the end you have to use application layer. But at my side I am using application layer first. So I am following top to bottom approach and you are following bottom to top approach. And the same method is applicable to online food ordering as well. So what is the learning outcome from this particular example? What is the learning outcome? Can we bypass any single well-defined process in the online food ordering? Is it possible? Can we follow the reverse approach at the receiver side or at the restaurant side or at the customer side? Can we follow the reverse approach? Is it possible to bypass any single well-defined process? Is it possible to bypass the wrapping of the food? Is it possible to bypass the creation of the food or making food or cooking food? Is it possible to bypass any of the single process? And I think you have the idea. Yes, I think you have the idea. Like we cannot change the order as well, order of the working of the layers. If application layer is there, which is used by the sender, then application layer will be used first only. Application layer has to deal with the transport layer only. We cannot inform, we cannot do this, we cannot achieve the communication between application layer and data link layer directly. Application layer has to interact with the transport layer. Transport layer has to interact with the network layer. I am talking about TCP/IP. So order of layer is important. Communication between layer is important, and each and every individual layer is important. Same method, same process is applicable to online food or ordering as well. So if this question is asked in the exam, explain TCP/IP protocol stack, explain TCP/IP. And if you write by mistake, if you write application layer, then network layer, then transport layer, then physical layer, and then data link layer, then you will get 0 marks. Are you getting this or not? The order is important. Their working is important. So who will conclude? What is the learning outcome? And the most important part, which I have not highlighted, but you can highlight it. And that important part is why we should add the control information, why we should add in the context of the network, in the context of computer network, wrapping of food. So food is there, you are attaching the wrapper, and then at the receiver side, unboxing the food, unboxing the wrapper, removing the wrapper. So wrapper or the use of the material, some plastic material, plastic bag or whatever you consider, then why control information, why we should add wrapper, why we should enclose, why we should attach the wrapper with the food. And see, this process is known as attaching header with data in computer network. Once you attach the control information with data, then that control information is known as header. That control information is known as header in the computer network. So you cannot send data directly. You have to add the header. So sender will add the header and receiver will remove the header, and then receiver can get the actual data or the customer can get the food. So what is the learning outcome from this example? You will tell me. What is the need of attaching the wrappers? Yes, Dhruval. Dhruval, can you speak loudly?
માની લો કે તમે એક વર્ડ ડોક્યુમેન્ટ અપલોડ કરો છો એન્ડ યુ આર અપલોડિંગ ઇટ પેજ બાય પેજ એટલે એ તો એપ્લિકેશન કરશે એને બ્રેક ડાઉન કરશે સ્મોલર ફ્રેક્શન્સ ની અંદર
Okay.
and then it will upload. So one of the things of header would be to cover your page number so that જ્યારે receiver ને segment મળે છે તો maybe there are different routes અને કોઈ route એવો હોઈ શકે કે તેમાં faster communication થઈ જાય અથવા so on and so forth xyz reasons ના કારણે તો એને ખબર રહે કે ભાઈ આ પાના નંબર પર જ આ વસ્તુ છે તો એ એના પ્રમાણે જ ફ્રેમ કરશે એન્ડ સેકન્ડલી ઇટ ઇઝ એબલ ટુ ડિફરન્શિએટ કે ભાઈ અહીંયા આગળ લાસ્ટ વસ્તુ પતી ગઈ અને નવી વસ્તુ શરૂ થઈ.
Correct. Very good. Anything else which you want to highlight, which you want to explain? So the learning outcome is why we are adding the control information, why we are adding the header, why we can't send data directly to the receiver. The answer is you have to, or protocol has to take care about error. Protocol has to take care about the flow, the speed of the transmission. Protocol has to take care about the secure communication. Protocol has to take care that the data must reach its receiver, and protocol has to take care that whatever the data is sent, that data should be received by the receiver. Whatever the data which is sent, the same data should be received by the receiver. And to achieve all this, to achieve the error-free communication, to avoid the flow control problem, it means speed mismatch. I have said earlier, speed mismatch is known as flow control. In the network, in the computer network, flow control is same. It is same as speed mismatch, or it is speed mismatch problem is also known as flow control problem in the data communication. So you have to manage the flow, you have to take care about the speed of sender and receiver, you have to take care of the errors, you have to take care of this secure communication, and to achieve all this you have to add the header. Otherwise you cannot achieve the fruitful communication. So I think you have the knowledge of the working of layers. I'm not talking about the working of the transport layer and all. I'm talking about how the layers are interacting, why the order is important, what is the process, why layers are adding the control information, or why layers are adding the header control information, it means header, why it is required to append the address, source address and destination address. I think you have the idea about all this now. So with this note, let me end the session over here. But before I end the session, if you have any question, any query, then you can ask me. Do you have any question, any query? I have recorded the session, so you can download it once the file is ready, and you can go through with this session as well later on. So do you have any question, any query? Can I end this session over here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have already marked your attendance, and with this note, let me end the session here. Thank you very much for joining the session. Now you can leave.
Yes, sir.